Tarnia from TP Financial Solutions. I'm our operations manager.
Yeah, I'm Annabel, and I am the financial advisor and fellow director at TP Financial Solutions. So, you know, it's a unique service. It's personalised for everybody. It's not one size fits all.
I can't help checking myself out.
Doing all that at the camera.
Can you hear me now?
The left contact lens feeling a bit weird. So
I'll definitely use that particular scene as the opener.
So we're based in Heysham on Twemlow Parade. We have an office and a meeting room from home. So we've got a lovely sea view right across the bay, which is beautiful, nice place to work. So down to earth, jargon-free and approachable. I think that sums it up.
Friendly is a big thing for us. Knowledgeable and lots of attention to detail. We basically want to make it as easy as possible for clients. So, you know, we have 2 small children and we obviously work and we understand that people have got different pressures. So people can come to us, like Tanya said, we've got a meeting room where, you know, you can be completely private. And also we're more than happy to come to houses, other people's houses, or their workplaces, whichever is most convenient for them. Lots of tea, mainly made by Tanya. I think just organisation, we're both extremely organised and we're both extremely motivated, and we're completely committed to the vision for the business. As long as we've got a brew and a bit of talk sport on sometimes, then, you know,
some 90s classics all the time.
Yeah, we don't need anything else. We just need nice, pleasant clients who genuinely want us to help them, because we're more than happy to do that.
It sounds bland, but organisation is a massive key to it. You know, we're in such a lucky position that we're both really organised, so we're both on top of everything at all times. So I think having that non-stressful work environment, it doesn't just help us, it helps our clients as well. You know, they're not ringing up and saying, oh, I'm such and such, can you look at my file? We know who it is when they ring, we know all about them, you know, everything's organised, so we know what they're doing. Tea helps massively. Annabel could make more cups of tea, I'll bring that up at her next appraisal. But I think, you know, we genuinely have the same vision, so we're never at loggerheads, you know, when decisions need to be made for the business, you're told and creating their vision, but we've created our own vision, and it's lovely, it's great, you know, half the time it doesn't feel like we're working. No. Which is mad, you know, to be 33 nearly and 37 and to be in a business where you don't feel like you're working. We feel completely lucky. And I think that reflects on the service that we provide.
I'd say one of the big misconceptions about financial planning is that you have to be super wealthy for it to be worthwhile. So the big thing for us is anybody that has any sort of question or anything that's sort of on their mind they've been putting off in regards to anything to do with their pensions or retirement planning, their personal protection, or anything to do with sort of investments or savings. So it's anyone that just wants a bit of advice, who, you know, doesn't want any jargon or, you know, super formal environment, just you know, people who just want to ask questions and take some advice from a professional.
I think it's always important to speak to a financial planner. You know, I've been in the industry 5 or 6 years now, and seeing it from the inside, I wish I'd started sooner. As Annabel said, it's for anybody really. So even from a £50 a month saving, looking at, you know, goals into the future, if people have families, mortgages, any kind of financial outlay, it's really important that they speak to somebody about it to make sure that their goals are met throughout their lifetime.
I think traditionally it's got that reputation. I think various things have gone on in the past in financial services You know, a lot of it not particularly encouraging for the clients. And I think from our experience, you know, I've been in financial services since 2007. So obviously we've seen a lot of changes over that period of time. And I think the one thing that we've really learned and what we wanted to do when we set up the business is to make it completely accessible. So people don't need to worry. They don't need to be thinking, oh God, I can't ask that question. It's stupid. I should know it, or anything like that. It's just, you know, we're normal, ordinary family people, just like a lot of our clients. And all we want to do is use our expertise to help them. And we'll do that in the most accessible way that we can.
I think it's just a personable, jargon-free service. You know, we've worked within the industry and seen ways that some companies potentially put people off, you know, by being too corporate, by being too upmarket, by putting that presence out that this is just for people who are wealthy. You know, when people speak to us, we're just normal people. You know, we speak in a normal manner. And I think it's that friendly approach to planning. You know, it starts with a chat, and it can be the same chat that you have with your mates down the pub, and that's, you know, that's how it should feel. The difference being between a chat in the pub is that we know the right questions to ask to get the pertinent information. So I think some people see, you know, a wealthy man in a blue suit and they think, you know, this is going to cost a fortune, or I'm not going to understand what's being said to me. And it's not like that at all. It's a chat and a brew. And we've found a lot of clients, haven't we, that are embarrassed that they've, you know, that professional people who've never spoken to anybody about the pension until they're quite late on in their careers. And when they leave us, the sense of relief that they feel just to have spoken about it, even if the advice is leave everything as it is, you know, that's entirely right. It's just that piece of worry out of the brain that they've had a chat with a professional and just reassured them.
Yeah, so I started in financial services in 2007. So I kind of learned from the bottom up. So I started in an admin role, and that became more and more technical as I got more experience. And then after I'd had my daughters, I did my qualifications to become an advisor, and then carried on advising in that firm that I'd started in for a year or so. And then I went to work in a big corporate bank, providing advice. So I've seen, you know, experience from a small local business, you know, right up to a massive national company. And we've taken basically all the good bits out of what we've seen, and also the direction of the business is really fueled by our personalities, and how we actually want the clients to feel. So we've got lots and lots of experience, we've got lots of qualifications, but at the end of the day, we just genuinely want people to take that first step, to sort of acknowledge what they might need to do or what they might want to do, and we can hopefully help steer that path for them.
So my background, I worked for the Ministry of Justice from leaving uni, so the court service, and then I left there, I can't remember what year, it was about 6 years ago, and worked for a local firm as an office manager. So really we've both come from an admin background, and then taken qualifications. So I qualified as a mortgage advisor and did that self-employed for a little while. But I think the main thing with coming from an admin background is we've always been, you know, the first port of call for the clients. So we see it from their point of view that if the admin's done properly, and everything's well organised, then the client gets a better service. So I'd say that, you know, not coming into it just as a qualified advisor, doing our time in the 20s, as it were, doing the admin, running the office, has given us that insight now to, right, we've set up our own business. These are the things that are important. You know, the client servicing and looking after the clients is just as important as the advice we're providing, because it's dead easy to advise people and then leave them to their own devices, and then you review it in 5 years and it's gone off path. So it's been really important for us to keep in touch with everybody and, you know, review every year or talk to them every 6 months. So the admin side of that works really well for us, doesn't it?
So Pensions are a really important part for business owners. So it's a tax efficient way of taking money from a business. So we can help with setting up new plans, with reviewing existing plans. Employee benefits are a big thing, for employers who want to sort of expand their offering to potential employees, things like death in service, critical illness cover, that kind of thing, for their employees. And also a really important thing is protection for business owners. So, protecting the shares, the share ownership, and making sure that, on the death of a director or a key person within the business, that it allows, the business to either continue trading without any issues, because you've had an influx of capital, or you're protecting the family or the business from a death of a director. So there are some really important aspects for business owners to sort of think about along those sort of areas. So both from their own personal perspective, but also thinking towards the future and also protecting their employees.
Absolutely. I think the first thing is protection. It kind of underpins everything else that we do. Many of us have assets, families, businesses. It's really important to protect those should the worst happen. So things like life insurance, income protection if you're unable to work for any reason, critical illness. That's kind of the starting point to make sure that everything you've got is protected. And then we look at retirement planning. So a lot of people think this is for older people to think about, but the sooner you think about it, the more prepared you are. So looking at existing arrangements and seeing if they're right for you, setting up new arrangements if you don't think you've got enough cover. And then there's the investment side of it. So, if you hold stocks and shares, ISAs, but you don't know how they're invested or whether it meets your risk profile, things like setting up savings plans, that's one of the things that a lot of people, will put away £100 a month, but then they save it in a bank account where it's easily accessible, so then it gets spent. And it's looking at it, speaking to people and saying, what do you want your money to do for you? And usually we've got a product or a vehicle that will provide that. So whether it be a pension because you need money later in life when you're not working, or whether it be savings because you want to go on a cruise every year, it's looking at your goals and then matching the right vehicle to doing that. So they're the main things that we offer.
I think, for a lot of people, they arrange products or start savings, and they lose track of actually what it is or what it's been put in place for. So we come across, there's loads and loads of people who will have taken out mortgage protection with their first mortgage, and now, 10, 15 years later, they've perhaps borrowed a bit more or moved house or whatever it is, and the protection is just no longer suitable, or it's no longer at the right sort of level. And I think it's pulling out the paperwork or even just finding a policy number, and we can have a look at what's in place, and just give a summary of what's actually needed. And then it's down to the client's choice of, do they want to pay a little bit extra to get the right cover, or potentially in some cases we can save money. I think for us, again, when we put together the service offering for our clients, is that we don't feel that we can charge any fees until we've actually done research and can actually provide a solution which is fit for purpose. So from the first appointment through to when we actually make a recommendation, there is no fee whatsoever. We've levelled those fees so that they are comparable to what else is out there in the market, but probably a little bit lower, because we want the service to be accessible. In the main, the fee charging is built into the products themselves, so you wouldn't be invoiced separately, above and beyond what you're already, say, investing or putting into your pension. So the fees are manageable, and they're all disclosed from the outset. So it does depend on which piece of work we're doing, but there's no obligation. So if a client came to us, we would disclose what the fees would actually be if they were to go ahead with the recommendation. But if we get to the point where we're sort of suggesting something and actually it doesn't feel right for them, then there is no obligation. So there's effectively nothing to lose apart from a bit of time. So people can kind of relax a little bit about that. They can pick up the phone to us as often as they want in that planning phase, and they can see us as often as they want in that planning phase, however long it takes to get comfortable with what we're saying, and to answer all those questions. And only once we got to a point where they were, every stone had been turned over and they understood inside and out what we were doing, would they ever be actually charged any fees. And like I say, at that point on the whole, it's built into the products themselves.
I'm proud of it all. We've built this from the bottom up. We've taken our joint experience. We've got rid of the bad bits of what we've seen in the industry, and we've kept everything that we love, and added our personal touch for it. I think the thing I'm most proud of is that our company represents us. I think we've managed to set up a company where we've gone, we're Tarnia and Annabel, we're normal people. It just so happens that we're qualified to give financial advice and mortgage advice. And through that, we're helping people, and we're doing it in a way that we're really proud of. So a good example of that is when people come to us with lots of different pension policies. So you've worked 5 or 6 jobs in your lifetime, each one has a pension, you lose track of it, there's so much information. What we can do is review each policy with the aim of amalgamating them, putting them into one. As part of that work, we review the charges on each policy. So it might be that one pension charges 1.5%, one charges 1.2%, and we work out the cost of your current pension providers. Within our recommendation, we then say the cost of the new product would be X per annum. As Annabel said, you don't actually write a check, pay an invoice for that. Those ongoing fees come out of the plan itself. So a lot of clients we've done that work for, they've not given us physical money. It's built in the pension plan. And sometimes that does lead to a reduced ongoing charge.
I think the big thing is value for money. So if you're paying, even if you're paying 1% a year for a pension plan, but all you get every year is an annual statement, and you've no idea where it's invested, you wouldn't have a clue who to ring if you needed anything. If the ongoing charge on a new plan that we might recommend is a little bit more expensive, but actually you know exactly where it is, you can speak to us whenever you've got a problem, and we can help you when you come to actually take your benefits. It's value for money. And I think often, fees are being paid within products, and actually you're not getting anything at all for that fee. I think I'm very proud of the clients that we've attracted. We've put ourselves out there as something quite different for compared to other financial planning businesses, and the response has been fantastic. So we haven't just got clients who came and did a transaction with us. We've got clients who are checking on us during lockdown, who are ringing us and saying, how are you, how are the family, who are sharing stuff with us, and are coming back to us time and again, even though we've only been going since October. We've got clients who we know, we know when that their grandchildren have been born, and it's that's really what we wanted. We wanted to have that type of business where it was totally client centric. And yes, we can do all the the ferrying around in the background, and we can find out all sorts of stuff, and yes, we do a fantastic job on the actual planning, but it's that personal aspect where we've attracted the type of clients that we really wanted to have. I think she's always very calm and logical. So I have the type of personality where sometimes I react immediately. In fact, I'd say probably all the time, whether that's, overly excited or overly fearful or overly whatever it might be, crying at adverts, that kind of thing. Tarnia is the calm, level-headed one that, if we come across an issue, I might react, but she pulls it back and sort of steadies the ship.
Brilliant.
Annabelle's super conscientious. She's really intelligent in the financial planning side of it, and she's super conscientious. So when a client comes in and speaks to her about a financial plan, and it's not just like, right, that fits into that box, we'll do that for this client. You know, I find it so admirable that I look over at her and she's writing notes and notes and notes and researching all different kind of things. So when she sits back in front of that client, she knows the answer to everything they're going to ask before they ask it. Not saying that I cut corners, but I have this way of working that's quite methodical and quite logical, as Annabel said, whereas Annabel's got that more emotional side to it. And I think it's so admirable that we've been in this industry. I've never seen a financial planner that not only does what they need, she emotionally connects with them, and on that emotional level she completely understands what they're wanting to get out of it. Yeah, and I just think that's brilliant.
I think it's just to naturally grow the business, and that's just through doing a good job for the clients that we've got, them referring us on to sort of friends and family in their own contacts, and genuinely, you know, helping not just the clients but helping the community, you know, getting our business name out there, not just through, you know, seminars and events like that, but actually, you know, stepping out and attaching our business name to, you know, charitable organisations in the community. That's one of the big things that we wanted to do what we say we're going to do. So many companies claim to have, you know, a certain vision, but the proof is in the pudding with us. You know, we truly want to help the clients that we're looking after, and do, you know, it might not be the most obvious answer that we suggest, but we feel that it will be the right tailored solution. And I think it's just growing it naturally. We have no desire to, you know, become a massive high street organisation. We just want to, you know, attract nice clients who want to genuinely take advice, and, you know, just carry on as we're doing. You know, we just want to have a nice life, really, and help other people to do the same. It's not particularly complicated.
You know, we both absolutely love the area that we work in, and we understand that, you know, we're in a lucky position in a lot of ways. So one of the charities that we support is the Morecambe Bear Food Bank. It's such a brilliant charity run by such brilliant people. And as you know, they give food to those who, you know, are going through difficulties. So it's really important for us. You know, we've got a skill set that not a lot of people have, and it's important for us not to just turn that into a profit for ourselves, but also to help the local community. So we support the food bank, and the other charity we've been supporting this year is St John's Hospice. It's such a brilliant part of the local community, and everybody around here at some point will know somebody who's used that charity. And again, the skill set that we've got and the lifestyle that we've got being self-employed, I don't think it should all be used for selfish reasons or just for our benefit. Plus, we love the charity work, don't we? We love getting out there and meeting people and find out what's going on. It's so easy to sit in your business unit and get so caught up in what you're doing, but actually, we live in such a brilliant area with such brilliant, vibrant communities. It's great to get out there and meet different people and help wherever we can. So they can contact us through the website, which is tpfinancialsolutions.co.uk. All of our contact details are on there. We also have a Facebook page, TP Financial Solutions. People can follow us on there, find out updates about what we're up to, and again, all our contact details are on there. We have a landline number, 01524 920015, and our email address is clients@tpfinancialsolutions.co.uk. So plenty of ways you can get hold of us. There's no hiding.
I think anybody who has any sort of question or has been putting something off, just pick up the phone or send us an email and we will immediately pick it up and come back to you. Like we said, there's no cost for the first consultation, whether that's half an hour or an hour and a half, you know, depending on how chatty you get. There is no cost at all. So you can ring us, you can ask your questions, and if by the end of that phone call we've sorted out your problems and, you know, and given you a bit of a guide, fantastic. There is no cost whatsoever. If you then want us to take, you know, the next steps and do some planning for you, then we will do that. And again, there is no cost until you actually accept a recommendation at the end of that process. During the, you know, the lockdown, it's been a bit of an eye-opener for video calling. You know, I've had a video meeting with an 80-year-old lady who I suspect had never used such a thing before, but I think she quite enjoyed it. So I think we will carry it on, because I think it's easier for people. It's accessible. You know, if people know that, you know, they can get home from work and have an appointment on Zoom where, you know, they don't have to, you know, have somebody into their house and make them a brew and all of that. You know, obviously we'd love to do that and we're happy to do it, but if it's easier for people, we're totally happy, you know, telephone meetings, Zoom meetings, or face-to-face when we can. Obviously, we like doing face-to-face meetings because we like meeting people and we enjoy that. But, you know, we're more than happy to sort of use whichever medium is best for people. You're a total calm. You're a rule break. She's naughty.
That's why we work so well. You're my conscience.